Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR, HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Welcome, Relax Radio listeners. I'm your host, Dan Rudin, and we have our co-host, Dr. Krishna. Say hello, Dr. K.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Relax Radio, an exciting place, and we are all very happy to be here. And we have a wonderful guest today, which Dan is going to introduce.
Yeah, so great. So today we're welcoming Sherianna Boyle with us. She's the author of Emotional Detox and founder of Cleanse Life, and Sherianna has a great mission and a great goal, and welcome, Sherianna. We're excited to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Yeah, great. So let's dive right in, and what is Emotional Detox to begin with?
Yeah, it's a good question. I like to describe it. I like to describe it similar to a physical detox. So I think most people kind of know what a physical detox is, right? Where you would drink something or eliminate something from your diet in order to remove all the impurities, pesticides, antibiotics, all that stuff, in hopes that you would feel better. And an emotional detox is the same idea, only instead of getting rid of all the impurities, what we're releasing is what I call reactions. And it's our reactions to our emotions which can make them feel or seem toxic. But the emotions themselves are not toxic. It's the way we react to them which can create, similar to physical detox, they can create inflammation, it can create tension and tightness in the body, and anxiety and depression and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's great. It's such a fascinating concept because we do tend to focus so much on the physical and what we can see and actually feel, and to really think deeper about it and to realize that it can trigger inflammation and trigger some of these reactions is really something that amazed me as I started to uncover some of that. So it's great that this is available. How did you get the concept of it?
Yeah, well, it actually just kind of spontaneously came to me. And interesting part is I had written, Emotional Detox is actually my 7th book. So I'd written some other books beforehand. One of them was called The 4 Gifts of Anxiety, which has all sorts of healing tools and techniques for how to transform your anxiety naturally using your own bodily, awareness, meditation, things like that. And then after that, I wrote a book called Mantras Made Easy. And when I write a book, I kind of really dive in, and with that book, I was reciting mantras. I had about 3 mantra practices going, and I did it for about 90 days straight. And when you recite a mantra, you recite it about 180 times in a row. So it was really a devotional practice, really committed to it. And I get to the end of these practices, and the book was completed. This was Mantras Made Easy, handed in. And literally, I'm just walking around in the world, and it was like it landed in my head out of nowhere. It just came in, popped in, Emotional Detox. It was loud and clear. And I thought, what? What is that? I looked at my girlfriend. She was with me, and my girlfriend's a writer as well. And she goes, and I looked at her, I said, Emotional Detox. And she said, what do you mean? I said, it's going to be my next book. And she said, I like it. I like that idea. And I said, well, and that's the truth. That's how I think it landed. I like to tell the mantra story because I really think the mantras just created such vibration in my body that it just sort of effortlessly landed in my mind, and then from there it just kind of became a real journey, quite frankly. It wasn't just about writing a book. It was about going through a very deep journey.
So, Sherianna, that reminds me of Einstein. He said, I think 99 times and nothing happens, and, I sit in silence and things come to me. Things do sometimes come, but share the story of, you have tried it on yourself. I thought I read that in the book that, you, before you kind of, made it the whole, program or the details of it, it has worked for you, right?
Yeah, well, I was kind of forced into that one, Krishna, because I got the idea and I started researching emotions right away, and I was really into it, it's not just about the idea of putting something out there. I was just really enjoying the research and diving in and really wanted to get to know emotions on a deeper level and asking myself lots of questions. And then I pitched it to Simon & Schuster, and they liked what I had. They told me I needed to do more work, as can happen. And I said, okay. So I went back and they did the work, presented it a second time, and then they said, okay, we think you have something now. And I was thrilled because I was with Simon & Schuster. It was just like a dream. And then maybe 4 or 5 weeks later, I was just hit with just such traumatic news, and I was in like an emotional crisis from this news. And it wasn't just me, it was my whole family. And I went back to the publisher and I said, I'm in crisis and I can't write this book. And it was devastating because I was high as a kite and I worked so hard for it. And so I felt like everything was collapsing. It wasn't just my personal life, it was my professional life, my everything, my finances, because I was really excited about getting, the finances. And so they said, okay, just take the time you need, and when you're ready, you'll do it. So that was great because I just gave myself space and time. There were no deadlines with this book, which was so wonderful. Because a lot of times you write a book and they give you a deadline, you're like, oh boy. But there was none of that. It was truly about, let this happen organically. And so I always say I wrote it from inside out. And I wasn't just writing about an emotional detox. I needed an emotional detox big time. And so it was great. It was a blessing because as I was going through it, I was able to see even what I was not doing, but things that I would say to my clients or how I would help people, because I was always the one helping everybody else. And now I'm going to other people asking for help, and I'm going, and I'm realizing kind of how we can help people and how we can make things worse. And at the same time, I'm remembering all the research. And so I'm kind of almost the worst patient and the worst client because I'm sitting there listening to you, and in my mind I'm thinking that the research says this, and this says this, and that might lead to this. And eventually I left it all, and Krishna, you can relate. And that's when I just said to myself, I'm going to sit with this. And it was when I got quiet, and I stopped looking for, advice and help, and I just went inside, and that's when the cleanse, which is the 7 steps of an emotional detox, started to really come through, little by little. And I would play with it, and then I would go back and listen, and I would play with it, and I would change things around, and I would, and so it was really very gradual but beautiful process. A lot of pain involved in there as well, but it came out great in the end.
Yeah, no, I can relate to it because, our app, Relax, came about like that. It's a gradual development as if it had its own life. And, everything I tried and tested. So I find, there are many, many fascinating things, and I'm sure you'll share that. But one of the things I like, or at least, I want you to mention is letting go versus surrender, that is an interesting differentiation you make. But, if you can just address that, and then you can tell us more about cleanse or whatever you want to tell us on this show.
Sure. Well, first of all, I just want you to know I love Relax app. And I know you're asking me a question about surrender, but I've been a part of a lot of different things. I've looked at different apps. I've listened to different ones. I really, really connect to the vibration of your app because it really is a vibration. And as far as surrender versus letting go, well, letting go, I find, can be a trigger word for people. And people say that to each other all the time. Just let it go. Just let it go. And you're like, you just want to give them the middle finger. At least that's what I felt like sometimes. And, there's a part of you just like, really? Because it applies, when you're in a crisis, it can make you feel like, it almost feels like the person's saying, you're overreacting, it's not a big deal kind of thing, or you're better than that. And I got a lot of that when I was going through. I had so many different comments that people would say to me, and it just made it so complicated and confusing. And so those words, letting go, I just don't find it very helpful to people. And they don't really know how to do that. So surrender, I think, is more natural. We can surrender, and the way the cleanse works is it's built, so each step builds on each other, and the surrender step is actually the S in the cleanse. It stands for surrender. By the time you get to the S, that's the sixth step, your surrender happens just effortlessly. So that's the way that I built it. You have to acknowledge the emotions. You can't ignore them, and you can't pretend they're not there, and you can't just try to be a positive Pollyanna about everything either. That just doesn't work. You have to acknowledge, and you have to acknowledge the way you're reacting, and then it's about releasing the reactions, and then it leads into the next step of the cleanse. And then again, by the time you get to S, you're prepared for that. So you don't have to go to your head about it. You don't have to think, okay, just let it go, let it be, move on, don't let it get to you. All that self-talk. No. You're emotionally, physically, and spiritually prepared. And surrender is about trust. It's about letting go and trusting. And I really believe, and I know it's people they want to throw spitballs at me at this point, but I think it's really believe that everything is happening for us and that it's all just a part of our spiritual evolution. And we're also a part of other people's journeys, and we can help them. And so surrender for me is learning to trust yourself. And even if everybody else in the world tells you, do it this way, you're going to screw up. If you do that, really surrender is that place where you can get and you can say, you know what? I know everybody wants me to do this, but this is what feels right for me. And when you get to that place and you trust the guidance and what you feel, not what people think or you think, but what you feel, that's when things are going to open up for you. And you're going to start to be able to be, you're going to be able to develop aspects of yourself that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah. No, that's a great distinction. The surrender word for me is so multifaceted, and the letting go of judgment was such a big hurdle for me personally on the surrendering that judgment of just everything. And, it's not that I'm perfect at it by any stretch, but certainly staying in a place where there's less and less of it has made life a lot smoother. And so I love that distinction. So looping back on cleanse a little bit, just so there's real clarity of what cleanse is, could you give us a little bit more detail of just exactly what the cleanse process that you developed is?
Yeah, sure. So the acronym cleanse, I never intended to have an acronym. It didn't even occur to me to have an acronym until I was in my crisis. And one thing I learned is that when you're in trauma or crisis, which a lot of people are, just by watching the news, right? The way we're getting bombarded with fear, on a regular basis, things like that. Trauma, as I define it, is anytime you're scared stiff. So a lot of people I know right now are scared stiff. A lot of people have lost their jobs and their businesses and what they've worked so hard for, and their children. There's so much going on. So I call trauma when you're scared stiff. And so what I learned from that was, boy, does it affect your memory. when you're in that space of freeze and that fight or flight, or you can't even believe it's happening. You get some horrible news like that. And I'm really feeling for anyone out there who knows anyone who's lost their job, or maybe heard like a health condition, they got a diagnosis, and you're like deer in the headlights. And yet you have to go about your daily life, especially if you're a parent or a caregiver. You can't just sit in your room. You have to go on with your life. So I would walk around. I couldn't remember anything, Dan. I was like, I am forgetting why I'm even in this parking lot. Like, why did I drive here? It was that bad. I would go in the store and be like, what the hell am I doing, right? And that's what happened. So I knew there had to be an acronym. And cleanse, just sort of another pop-in, Krishna, out of the divine, handing me this, it's going to be cleanse. So the C is about clear reactivity, and that means it's a centering exercises, and I give many, many variations for that, for different ways that people can center themselves. You have to prepare to feel. You just don't go to a feeling state. It's like warm-up. It's like warming up your car in the winter. You're not just going to drive your car. You have to warm it up, and you want to warm your body up, and so that's C, clear reactivity. L is look inward, which is it's a feeling statement, and it teaches people how to talk about their feelings, address them, recognize without re-traumatizing themselves. E is emit, and that's a mantra there, because mantras raise vibration, and I'd written Mantras Made Easy, so I knew how special and sacred they were, and I knew there was going to be a mantra in this cleanse. A is activate, which is joy, activate joy, and we do that because now we have vibration. And when we have vibration, now we can even connect to what and see what joy is. N is nourish, and there's many different things in that space, but it's really about deepening the experience. It's like the A, the activate is smell the food, N would be eat the food, right? So it just takes it that next level deeper. I'm talking on a conscious level into your body. Now you're ready for surrender, right? Now you feel good. Now you feel safe. Now you feel calm. Surrender comes easy, and I give a statement for that, and it's a free will statement, because the bottom line is nobody can make you feel what you feel. You have to choose it. That's your God-given right, and that's where you get your power. It's from your own choice. People can lead you there. They can give you all the tools in the world, but ultimately you have to choose it. And so surrender is a statement. I choose this. And that's not the statement, but that's what it means. And then the E is ease, which is the I am consciousness, which is, we are everything. And that's based on the fact that we're We are this. We always were this. We just, this meaning love and compassion and kindness, all of that. That's the core of who we are. We are love. It's just we lost our way. We got cut off guard, and perhaps some old wounds came up. And so when you go through that process of the 7 steps, it's a practice. And the practice is designed for daily practice and 10 minutes. Once you get used to it, it can be less than 10 minutes, but I like to carve out a minimum of 10 minutes a day where you take yourself through those steps and you just acknowledge whatever's coming up. It's great to do in the morning so that if anything came up in your sleep, then you can wake up in the morning and you can allow it to be fully processed before you begin your day.
Well, that is a great process, and as we wind down this first segment of the show, I want to make sure you have a chance to tell people where they can find out more about you, your book, and your cleanse process.
Sure, I'm at Sheriannaboyle.com, and that's my website, and that's where they can get any of my books there and coaching and all that good stuff. And I'm also I'm a fellow HealthyLife.net radio host, and so my show was actually earlier today, and so I get to be on here twice today, which is nice.
Well, great. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Sherianna to talk about a cauliflower moment in her life and more.
If you want the most compelling, universally available platform in the practicing of meditation, mindfulness, and intermittent silence, then you need to know about the app called Relax.org. That's relax with 2 X's, because when you go to this app, you really do relax. It helps your body, quiets your mind, and connects you to your flame in the world of consciousness. It's always with you, so you can use it any time. Isn't this your time to be peaceful, happy, and prosperous? Find out more at relax.org.
If you're looking for unique items at affordable prices, then you should try Dream Product. From apparel to beauty, from shoes to therapeutic relief products, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Dream Products, and maybe your dreams might just come into reality.
Imagine living everyday life on purpose. Now imagine yourself easily navigating through life's changes and stress from a soul level. For insights into the journey of the human soul, let Dr. Krishna Bhatta be your guide. His book, Journey from Life to Life, will help you demystify life, death, and everything in between. It gives you clarity on how you can have a successful life and a smooth transition into the world beyond. Who wouldn't want that? Get Journey from Life to Life by Krishna Bhatta, MD, at Amazon.com.
You have too little time to shop, so try Farm Fresh to You. They deliver organic food the way nature intended, delivered straight to your home or office, economically. Visit our web advertiser page and click on Farm Fresh to You now.
Feel like the super person you are meant to be? It's easy at liveandbreathesolutions.com. They don't just talk about healthy living. Their superfoods are combined with products you use daily, so you're actually getting a healthy living at great prices, too. Imagine chocolate, gluten-free organic snacks, mixes, and ingredients, all but a click away at liveandbreathesolutions.com. So make life simple to be healthier. Just live and breathe and go to liveandbreathesolutions.com.
This is Jack Maher from the band Feed the Kitty. It's important to support the artists you love, and you can do that and get something authentic for yourself. Rock.com has the most coveted licensed merchandise of music, culture, and entertainment. So go to the advertiser page and click on Rock.com now.
Make your day start out right. Coffee and tea are what most people need to help start their day. So it's no secret that you want the very best taste. That's where coffeeandchai.com comes in. They're proud to display a variety of coffee and tea from all over the world. They have a wonderful assortment of coffee flavors, and talk about teas. They have all kinds for the body, mind, and soul, which are great to drink any time of day. Visit coffeeandchai.com now. That's coffee, the letter N, chai.com. coffeeandchai.com.
Welcome back to Relax Radio. This is Dan Reardon, your host, with co-hosts Dr. Krishna and Sherianna, and we're back for the Cauliflower Moments segment. This is that segment where we challenge a belief and we talk about a belief that had come up that we looked at more deeply, and, it's real stories, real challenges. Sometimes these beliefs are things that take a long time to overcome, and sometimes we can overcome them fairly quickly. But what I've found as time's gone on is that there's just so many layers and so many different beliefs that have accumulated over time that it's really fun when you start to look at them as kind of a quest that you question and get to be surprised at what you uncover. So with that as the intro, Sherianna, maybe you can share, is there a belief that you overcame that's made a big difference in your life or made an impact in others that you'd like to talk about?
Well, there's been so many, Dan. There's been so many. I think one of them for sure has been beliefs about love. I wrote a book called Choosing Love, and that really looks at belief systems as far as believing that love is something that you earn was a belief that I carried, that you had to somehow prove yourself or make yourself useful in order to feel loved. That couldn't be further from the truth. And I think some beliefs about being broken, being wounded, and that not good enough, which I think so many people can relate to that, of not feeling worthy, not feeling like you are smart enough, kind of thing. And I didn't grow up with people that my parents didn't go to college. They barely graduated from high school, and they owned a family business. They just worked really hard. And so I was the first one to kind of go off to college. None of my siblings didn't go to college. So I think for a long time I carried that belief that I carried the beliefs of my family, that college, that weren't smart enough, or that we were somehow less than, kind of thing, and feeling sort of inferior, kind of thing. I think sometimes that can happen. So that's always interesting too, Dan. When you have your own individual beliefs, and then you have the beliefs of your family, right? That you don't even realize you're taking on their beliefs, right?
Yeah, I've been noticing more and more in this time that we're living in that the family belief structures and everybody's getting vectored around lots of polarization, and it's really surfacing a lot of things that I didn't even see in our own family dynamics. And it really is centered on some base beliefs that are very different for everybody. It's quite surprising.
Yeah, you really, during those moments when there's a crisis, right, or you do kind of see that stuff, don't you? When somebody's, when things happen, like family has to kind of regroup, you see those beliefs emerge. I see it in being an observer of my husband's family, because they're all taking. My husband's mother lives only a couple of miles away, so he does an incredible job caring for his mother, and very, very good job. But I as an observer, I can see there's a lot of them. There's a lot of siblings, so they're all involved, and I just kind of sit back and I'll let you guys work that out. and they all are doing a wonderful job. But boy, you can see those beliefs, the fear emerge of the what if, And, you know, the fear of loss, really, that's what it is trying to prevent that feeling of loss that is so inevitable, right, Dan? I mean, we're all going to experience it. We can't hold loss back. It's life. Things. So I think that you see that in a lot of families that are going through, so afraid, and it really can get ugly.
Yeah.
It gets kind of nasty sometimes and hurtful and.
We're definitely experiencing that on one side of our families. Dr. K, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just picking on the not good enough part, you know. Family, of course, family dynamics is amazing everywhere. People start believing what to expect from each other. But there is a syndrome called Imposter Syndrome that is supposed to be common in medical students and other students. It's something new I heard. Are you referring to that when you say not good enough feeling, not competent?
No. I know what you mean. I've heard a lot of people talk about that, like they're sort of faking it kind of thing. No, I think it's just a general, you know, really it's based on how I grew up. When I grew up, one of my family members went to prison. So I was on Sundays going to prison, you know, and doing visitations and with my mom, and we were so, you know, there's something that when you go through that process as a child, it's probably 8 years old, and you're walking in, and of course you're surrounded by other people visiting their loved ones in prison, and it's a real heaviness, you know, and you just sort of you get into this, you're not around people that are thriving, right? And it can be very difficult because even when you are around people that are thriving, when it goes unresolved, you still feel like you're carrying that. It's almost like having a scar, you know? And so it really wasn't until I started processing emotions and things like that I have such compassion now. And I've always had compassion. I later worked in college. I worked in the prison system and was drawn to that. But so no, for me, I don't really feel an imposter. I think it was more of a feeling of heaviness. And sadness is, I think, what I'm talking about, unresolved sadness, where you have to keep your chin up, you know, and I think a lot of folks out there know you got to keep your chin up and don't let yourself cry, don't let your kids see you crying because you got to hold it together, right? You got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people can relate to that, and that's sort of how my family was. We got to hold it together here. We can't start crying because we got the bills around here, you know? And so it was more like a heart heaviness in the heart that and you never really feel, you know, it's hard to be perked up and confident with a heavy heart.
Yeah, I think it's an important one, and I know the not good enough came to play in my life in a lot of ways as well. So I really related when you said that statement. Well, great. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Sherianna, and she'll be just talking about peaceful moments with Dr. Krishna.
Your world is colored with beliefs, values, and illusions, which interpret how you process the signals you receive from others. Now there's a way in which you can quickly learn how to interpret these signals correctly, and without self-sabotaging yourself in the process. In Dan Reardon's book, Signals Proven Methods will help you see things more clearly, so you can act with purpose and achieve your goals, while attaining a more peaceful, happy life. Get your copy of Signals by Dan Reardon today at Amazon.com or wherever fine books are sold.
This is Jack Maher from the band Feed the Kitty. It's important to support the artists you love, and you can do that and get something authentic for yourself. Rock.com has the most coveted licensed merchandise of music, culture, and entertainment. So go to the advertiser page and click on Rock.com now.
If you want the most compelling, universally available platform in the practicing of meditation, mindfulness, and intermittent silence, then you need to know about the app called Relax.org. That's relax with 2 X's, because when you go to this app, you really do relax. It helps your body, quiets your mind, and connects you to your flame in the world of consciousness. It's always with you, so you can use it any time. Isn't this your time to be peaceful, happy, and prosperous? Find out more at relax.org.
Get high-quality glasses, sunglasses, and prescription lenses at eyeglasses.com. Choose from over 250,000 items and 400 brands. Already have frames? Get replacement lenses. It's easy. Go to our advertiser page and click eyeglasses.com.
Imagine living everyday life on purpose. Now imagine yourself easily navigating through life's changes and stress from a soul level. For insights into the journey of the human soul, let Dr. Krishna Bhatta be your guide. His book, Journey from Life to Life, will help you demystify life, death, and everything in between. It gives you clarity on how you can have a successful life and a smooth transition into the world beyond. Who wouldn't want that? Get Journey from Life to Life by Krishna Bhatta, MD, at Amazon.com.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
Welcome back to Relax Radio. I'm your host, Dan Reardon, with co-host Dr. Krishna. And in this segment, Dr. Krishna is going to talk with Sherianna about peaceful moments. Take it away, Dr. K.
Thanks, Dan. So, Sherianna, we believe that we all are looking for peace, and we all have a spiritual corner inside us. And even if we are not doing exercises, routines, meditation, silence practice, we find ways to be peaceful. Some people find it peaceful in reading books or walking in the woods or kayaking or just being besides the beach. So I want you to share, let's create some peaceful vibrations, as you call it. And your cleanse kind of starts with that process. So let's see if where do you find your peace? Do you have anything to share there? Tell us more about peaceful, like being, not necessarily doing an exercise.
Okay. Well, I mean, I always, it's kind of like if I'm in a peaceful moment, I have one of those moments where maybe I'll see a sunrise or a sunset, or there's a certain lake that I love to go to. It's so quiet, and I kind of take like a mental picture of it with my mind. So if I see something like in nature, if I go outside and I find even a tree, I'll go out and I'll just really try to take a moment to really connect to the energy of that moment. So, a lot of people will see something beautiful and we'll take out our phone, we'll take a picture, and that's all well and good. But so what I'll do is I'll just kind of, can I absorb this moment? Can I allow it to be absorbed in my body and my tissue? Meaning, can I just soften my eyes? Can I just breathe into it? Can I say thank you out loud, or put my hand on my heart and just say thank you? And I sort of, it's almost like I engrave it in my energy. And that way, when I'm maybe in my house and it's freezing cold out or something, like it is now, and I'm less apt to get out in the world, or then I can just close my eyes and I can put my hand on my heart and I can sort of bring myself back to that memory that I've been etched inside my body of the lake, and I can hear the waves or wherever I was, just taking a moment and see if I can bring it back. It's kind of fun, because it's like taking a moment. Can I feel the air? Can I feel the wind? And bring it back into my body. And my body really believes I'm there again, right? We know the body doesn't know the difference between you're there or you're not there. If you visualize it, you see it. I love to do it with real stuff, even just going to walk around my neighborhood and seeing a flower or something and just touching it, and feeling it. And, again, connecting to the energy of it. We have these trees in our yard, and I love them so much. And a few of them need to come down. And my husband's just done like every year, and I'm like, you cannot take them down. You take them down, somebody's going to get hurt, okay? Somebody's going to get hurt if you take those trees down. It's not going to be me. So he's been holding off, and this is the year we're going to have to take some down. So I've just been really going out there like, I love you and thank you for being in my life. And, I so appreciate you, everything you really just, honestly, I'm grieving them before they go down in the spring. And I'm getting, just really appreciating. It's like just going out and realizing that everything is a living thing, an organism. I mean, that's also, what psychology is all about. It's not just a study of people, it's a study of all living things. And it's so connected. So for me, that's how I go and get peace and bring it back in. I do the cleanse every day. It's my personal practice. I'll also dabble, like I've gone on your app, and I love the intermittent silence thing. I think that's amazing, especially because I talk a lot. And I really have to watch that. And I think, Krishna, you've taught me a lot about that because I'm always, I'm a teacher. I teach psychology. I teach yoga. I teach clients. Always talking. And, your app has really made me realize, stop talking. And my kids are so grateful.
I think by stopping talking, you talk better, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true.
One thing
sorry. Sherianna, you touched such an important thing. I mean, it's beautiful that you don't have to create trees. I mean, you can go to the tree or the flower that is already there, right? Some people will claim that they reciprocate. I don't know how to monitor that. But have you ever felt that, that it feels like, it's not only you loving them, but they loving you back? I mean,
yeah.
You can say that you're imagining, but I mean, I truly believe that, nature reciprocates to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, it's just creating little spaces. I've got this beautiful Mother Mary statue in my yard. And, my girls are getting older, and there's moments where they're like, we don't believe, but you believe, and they're all wanting to form their own opinions and all that. But it's so funny because when a fish dies around here, where do you think it gets buried? in front of Mother Mary. Mother Mary is looking over more fish. We've had more burials around her. So, little things like that. I just, it's little, I pay my respects to her. She's in my yard. I'll check on her, pay my respect. If she's looking a little dirty or something, brush her off, give her some flowers, it's just honor, a place of finding little ways that you can honor. It doesn't have to be something religious, could be something else, and you just pay your respects, just recognize really what it's all about, that nurturing, or Mother Earth, Mother Earth, paying our respects to her, and gratitude. I think that makes a big difference.
I think it does, and I think one thing as we transition to our next part of the show, the thing I loved about what you said is these moments can be captured in every day, every process, everything about living. So it's really neat, and we're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be right back with Sherianna and Dr. K, and they're going to be talking about minor miracles to wrap up the show.
Explore your inner universe with your own portable guru. You'll discover the benefits of intermittent silence, meditation, and mindfulness, which will help you in every area of your life. At relax.org, you'll learn to conserve, channel, and use your energy in constructive ways while helping to keep your body healthy and your mind relaxed. Relax.org is your chance to consistently experience stress-free, purposeful living at its best. Where is this portable guru? At relax.org. That's relax with 2 X's. Feel like the super person you are meant to be? It's easy at liveandbreathesolutions.com. They don't just talk about healthy living. Their superfoods are combined with products you use daily, so you're actually getting a healthy living at great prices, too. Imagine chocolate, gluten-free organic snacks, mixes, and ingredients, all but a click away at liveandbreathesolutions.com. So make life simple to be healthier. Just live and breathe and go to liveandbreathesolutions.com. Your world is colored with beliefs, values, and illusions, which interpret how you process the signals you receive from others. Now there's a way in which you can quickly learn how to interpret these signals correctly and without self-sabotaging yourself in the process. In Dan Reardon's book, Signals Proven Methods will help you see things more clearly, so you can act with purpose and achieve your goals, while attaining a more peaceful, happy life. Get your copy of Signals by Dan Reardon today at Amazon.com or wherever fine books are sold. Imagine living everyday life on purpose. Now imagine yourself easily navigating through life's changes and stress from a soul level. For insights into the journey of the human soul, let Dr. Krishna Bhatta be your guide. His book, Journey from Life to Life, will help you demystify life, death, and everything in between. It gives you clarity on how you can have a successful life and a smooth transition into the world beyond. Who wouldn't want that? Get Journey from Life to Life by Krishna Bhatta, MD, at Amazon.com.
More exhilarating talk. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back to Relax Radio. I'm your host, Dan Reardon, with co-host Dr. Krishna. In this segment, Krishna is going to be talking with Sherianna about minor miracles. Take it away, Dr. K.
Thanks, Dan. Sherianna, so we sometimes feel we control everything until we don't. There are more than us at play when we live our life. And this segment, we want to hear some magic stories or some incidents that happened in our life that changed or made a major change. So that's kind of minor miracles which cause major impacts in our life. But before I go there, I want to pick up on your Mother Mary thing. And I must say, I was at there is a church in near Quebec, which is dedicated to Virgin Mary. And that was one of my most peaceful moments, I can remember. It was really, really, you could close your eyes and feel the energy and vibrations all around. But anyway, let's talk about some stories from your life which might have sounded minor but had major impact.
Yeah, gosh, there's many of them. I'm just seeing which one kind of pops up at the top of my head. Minor miracles. I think it's, I wrote a note to myself once. I wrote a note from God to myself, and I tucked it away in a place, and I didn't even know, I forgot where I even put it. And then it was a time when I was going through something really, really challenging, really, really, really upset about something. It was during the emotional detox, during that whole time period of my life. And I heard a voice, and it told me to go to the area where I took the note. Now, remember, I couldn't remember anything. I was like doing things. I didn't remember what I was doing. And I just remember being directed and guided to, and I opened up wherever I put that note. I can't remember it now. And I saw the note from God, and I completely forgot. But it was like the exact words that I needed to hear in that exact moment in time. It's just like that moment where you're like, what, you know, are you here? You know, are you with me? Kind of moment. Are you listening? I need, you know, those moments of desperation where you're like, I could really use your help right now. And it just was so, I just heard and I was guided. Go to this area, open this up, and I was like, pull it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot that I wrote that note. And it was to me from God. And, you know, it was just what I needed in that. So for whatever reason, I was guided to write it, and I was guided to find it. You know, it's just probably a year later I found the note. So you just don't know. You know, you don't know why you do things and what that's going to mean later to you. I feel like almost every book I've written has prepared me for the next thing in my life and has been truly guided. You know, you're going to need this, honey, so you better write it kind of thing. But, you know, and I think the other miracles are my children. You know, watching them develop and grow and seeing them become adults. And you can probably relate to this. Both of you have adult, you know, my older children, and seeing them just mature and become the adults that they are, having a faith. Because for so long, you know, when they were teenagers, they would kind of push back. I'd be like, oh boy, I have no idea what path you're on. And now I see them kind of circling back and to their own spirituality in their own way. And I think that's a really, like, a little miracle for me, the moment where you see, okay, you got it. You got a foundation there. You have a faith. You believe in something higher, and you're connected. And that's amazing, because I think when we don't, sometimes we can go to fear. You know, it's about you know, having an anchor for yourself. And so that's a little miracle. And I also think my husband is incredible. Like, he really is, like, inspiration, and he has overcome so much, and he's like a little miracle. I'm so grateful for him every day. Every day I wake up, I think to myself how grateful I am to have him in my life, and to watch him as spiritually evolve. It's just been a really beautiful thing.
No, that's amazing. But having had you for the last almost 45 or 50 minutes on this interview, I feel that your work on emotion, that itself is the way it started, the way you mentioned it started. I mean, it probably was a small thing, but it has become now 8 books, and it's a cleanse program, and you are making other people peaceful and happy, and have, because there is a lot of writings on thoughts and thinking on emotional area. I don't know how many other people are working purely on emotional areas. So I think you've done a wonderful thing here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly people looking at emotional intelligence, and
right.
that's been around for a long time, and really pioneers in that. And I remember I've studied them, and because when I was working in the schools, of course, that was such an important part, having that emotional intelligence. I don't know anybody who's extended it as far as really teaching in this way, processing. And maybe there are, and I just don't know, but I haven't come across it yet. And I teach psychology, so I do get at my fingertips some what the colleges are teaching. You know, the most recent textbooks I get every year, the new, whatever's new and current, which is nice because I get to see, okay, what are the next generation learning? What are we teaching in psychology? And I always have to insert some of my own stuff in there because I just don't feel like, I think we give emotions just like, I mean, literally maybe a page.
Yeah.
Right, and that's it.
No, I think you have done a great work. I mean, we have used a term emotional storms, you know, in intermittent silence, that it can help, but that's it. We haven't expanded. So I think we look forward to learning from you and working with you on this. You know, it's like this is an important area. I mean, you know, emotions are there. I mean, we all have emotions.
Yeah. Well, listen, Sherianna, we really appreciate you joining us today. It's been great, and we're excited to be continuing to bring more guests to the show each week. You can find this and other shows on demand at healthylife.net, and you can also find out more about us at relaxwith2x's.org. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Feel like the super person you are meant to be? It's easy at liveandbreathesolutions.com. They don't just talk about healthy living. Their superfoods are combined with products you use daily, so you're actually getting a healthy living at great prices, too. Imagine chocolate, gluten-free organic snacks, mixes, and ingredients, all but a click away at liveandbreathesolutions.com. So make life simple to be healthier. Just live and breathe and go to liveandbreathesolutions.com.
ASMC, the premier German company that supplies everything for adventure, from outdoor clothes to outdoor gear, even backpacks. Lots of quality and lots of specials. To start your adventure, go to healthylife.net's advertiser page and click on ASMC.
Make your day start out right. Coffee and tea are what most people need to help start their day. So it's no secret that you want the very best taste. That's where coffeeandchai.com comes in. They're proud to display a variety of coffee and tea from all over the world. They have a wonderful assortment of coffee flavors, and talk about teas. They have all kinds for the body, mind, and soul, which are great to drink any time of day. Visit coffeeandchai.com now. That's coffee, the letter N, chai.com. coffeeandchai.com.
Uplifting talk. healthylife.net.
Your world is colored with beliefs, values, and illusions, which interpret how you process the signals you receive from others. Now there's a way in which you can quickly learn how to interpret these signals correctly, and without self-sabotaging yourself in the process. In Dan Reardon's book, Signals Proven Methods will help you see things more clearly, so you can act with purpose and achieve your goals, while attaining a more peaceful, happy life. Get your copy of Signals by Dan Reardon today at Amazon.com or wherever fine books are sold. If you want the most compelling, universally available platform in the practicing of meditation, mindfulness, and intermittent silence, then you need to know about the app called Relax.org. That's relax with 2 X's, because when you go to this app, you really do relax. It helps your body, quiets your mind, and connects you to your flame in the world of consciousness. It's always with you, so you can use it any time. Isn't this your time to be peaceful, happy, and prosperous? Find out more at relax.org.